What up, YouTube? Big Lou tipping back in on the hat trick to let the assassin himself one more again. Baby. So, I watched, most of you guys know, you guys see the thumbnail, you see his name. If you guys don't know who he is, that's his name. For those that don't know who that is, he's the alleged, uh, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, mob family boss, right? And he alleges that it's all alleged. So all good in Hollywood with that, right? But I seen part 1 and 2 yesterday, and I seen part 3 today. So I'll just wait for the rest of them to come out for Vlad to release the rest if he's gonna do a clip by clip, and then he usually after some time, maybe a month, he puts out the complete interview. Excuse me, but if you're a member to his channel, you're entitled to uh, you're you're entitled to see the video in entirety. Which I'm not a fan of that. I don't need to pay. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing's that big for that. You know what I mean? Because I already pretty much know what's gonna happen anyways, and thus far that's what's been happening. But I gotta say though, the Joey, Joey's gonna do Joey, man. It's obvious, right? Because like most people know, if they don't know, sometime back in the 90s, I think it was mid 90s, 94, 95 ish, he was on a radio station and he was talking about whatever he was talking about, like he's talking now pretty much. And uh, uh, John Gotti Sr. put out the word from prison that they're not going to acknowledge him uh, as the boss over there. And then also the boss of the Lucchese's, Victorio Musso, aka Vic Amuso, is was I think he was also cellies with him at one point too. Nicky Scarfo Senior, but if not, if they weren't cellies, they were in the same joint at the same time. Uh, Vic Amuso did Nicky Scarfo, who was the boss of Philly up until I think he fell in like 89 or 88, something like that. Maybe, yeah, I believe so. It was 87, 88, 89. Uh, Amuso did him a favor and pulled his son, Nicky Scarfo Jr., from Philly into the New York Lucchese Borgata, right? To protect him pretty much because he wasn't a made member. I don't think he was a made member of Philly, but at that time. But his father obviously was the boss, and he did get shot up one night on a Halloween night in a restaurant. Who allegedly they say it was Joey Merlino, but Joey Merlino never been caught or busted for that. He never was even. He might have been questioned, but that's about probably as far as that went. Because they said the guy had a mask on with a trick or treat bag, I think, or something like that. So, anyways, Joey Merlino's pretty much keeping it to a bare minimum, even on names like, Angelo Bruno. He said, yeah, he lived around the corner from me. I don't know. And then he says 1980 he was 18. So he goes, I don't know nothing about that. I was a kid. And then Nicky Scarfo's name gets brought up. He said, yeah, he was a good dude. He was a stand-up guy. And what he's referring to is that the man kept his mouth shut when did his time, right? Like his dad did. His dad did that as well. I think his dad fell in 80 something as well, and ended up passing away in there like 18 months, 16 months before his release. That's what Joey said. So, you know what I mean? He's keeping the gangster to the bare minimum, you know what I'm saying? Like we knew he would, and the only thing he's speaking on thus far is like what he spoke on his channel, right? He spoke about things he did as a kid, things he got busted for as a youngster. His first time getting locked up defending Phil Leonetti's mom. Um, that was his first time to the pen, I think. And then, which was not a federal case, I don't believe. I believe that was a state case. And then he got the armored car robbery or whatever it was. He went to the pen for that. And he said they were just mediums he was at. But then when he caught that 14 years or that 12 years, he was in the pens then. So he said, shit's, it's real in there, which it is. It ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no joke at all. But he's keeping it just like we knew he would. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew he would. Like most people that know a little something about it or a lot about it, they know that he ain't gonna speak up. So this is only part 3 so far, and I believe that each one was like a few. Let me see, maybe 5 to 8 minutes each clip, each part, I should say. And there's been 3 thus far. I suspect Vlad will probably drop another part 4 tonight, most likely. If not, it'll be tomorrow, and then also probably a part 5 tomorrow. That's usually how he does it. But who really can call it, right? I can't call it like an alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, there's only 2 things I'm going to say. I guess playing devil's advocate. I guess for the pros and cons. We already said the pros. Joe knows how to talk. He knows how to keep it. He gives certain expressions like, you know what I mean? he like, yeah. So we already talked about the pros. Now the cons is that he said he would never, would go on mess with anybody that platforms rats. Well, fucking Vlad platforms everybody, right? I mean, everybody that's told has been on there from that life, right? From that culture, from that life, from that type of career. You know what I'm saying? If you want to say it that way. And he makes a comment that, I came on here because you promised me you ain't gonna interview any rats. And he goes, well, I didn't say that. And he goes, well, your guy did, or something like that. And he's saying it jokingly, but he's just, we know him. He's probably somewhat serious. But what don't make sense is that he's, he's got the biggest platform besides Patrick Bet David. Michael Francis been on that channel like 3 or 4 times. Everybody's been on that channel. Pasqua, Francis, Hootie, Panisi, you know what I'm saying? His boy, Luisi, you know what I'm saying? Larry Mazda, Sammy the Bull, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's been on that thing. There's a couple more. I know I'm missing at least 1 or 2 more. But anyways, everybody comes on that channel, and that's told. So I don't understand why, because he makes that clear, right? He says it numerous times on different episodes of his own show. But then is it because this guy has such a big audience, you're willing to say fuck it and try to make it look or make it sound that, saying I told him not to, interview no boy that any more rats. That's the deal. Well, if that's the case, call fucking, call up Tom at Tom Lavecchia over there and give him an interview then and tell him that, make that deal with him. Or your boy, I mean, not your boy, but the little Snuffs boy, no top lip Jeff Nadeau over there with his bullshit, right? For an interview, right? Or, interaction. It ain't gonna happen, right? So I don't understand that part. The second part that I don't understand is convicts that I've been around, and I've been around many of them from different nationalities, right? I've done my own amount of time in the pen, in the joint, right? I've done more than a decade in the joint, right? I've never heard convicts talk so much about rats. It's weird to me. Like, it's not reality. I don't know, motherfuckers. Yeah, somebody might mention somebody's name. Oh yeah, remember when we're over here at this pen? Remember we were doing this? Or maybe if it's somebody from the street, you're talking about, oh yeah, remember back when so and so lived over there and we were, living in the hood over there. Da, da. Oh yeah, and then a certain name comes up and he went bad or something. You might say, man, yeah, fuck that fool, fuck that dude, right? You might say something like that, but damn, this Joey talks about rats so much. It's weird to me. I mean, go do something about it then if they bother you so much, because there's a bunch of them right around where you're at, a whole bunch of them. They said Florida is like my blue heaven over there, right? They're all down there. So that's the part I don't understand. We know you don't like rats. We know we're in the position you were in because of rats. That's obviously, that goes without saying. It's part of the life, right? Even though it shouldn't happen and people portray like they ain't gonna do this or that, it happens. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people are expendable and looked at in such a way because they know that that's part of the life. And what I mean by that is, like, people know that even though they went out of their way to bring somebody in, or they sponsor somebody, or they anything like that, and then they go bad, it's always it's always a what's the word I'm looking for? There's always a chance that somebody could go bad. You know what I'm saying? Just look back at the people, what we know already of this history of this stuff. And I mean this stuff. I'm talking about gang banging. I'm talking about California prison organizations. You know what I'm saying? The the, the deadliest motherfuckers flip sometimes and tell on everybody else. It's happened many times over. You know what I'm saying? So that I just don't understand. I just don't get it. Why everybody, the rats fucked a motherfucker, another motherfucker. It's like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's too much. It's putting a 10 on a fucking 2 because, like I said, if you hate rats so fucking much, handle it. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't gonna handle it, then you shouldn't be even running your mouth. Now I know Joey's a little dude. I don't believe he's tough. I mean, he's tough. He is a tough dude from a certain aspect. What I mean by tough dude is that he's always gonna tell you "fuck you." You can tell. Even if you beat his ass, he's still gonna say, "You know what, motherfucker? Yeah, you got me, but fuck you." You know what I'm saying? He might do that, and I'm pretty sure he will do that. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing now, right? So they're saying that New York, especially the alleged boss of the Genovese, who was the one that actually recognized him first, supposedly as the top dog from Philadelphia, is upset because he feels responsible. He brought him in. He was the one that told all the other four families of New York City that yes, he's the man, and I'm honoring it, right? Excuse me. So he's feeling something like responsible, but like many people have said already, they shouldn't be worrying about anybody out of their Borgata, which means, if you guys don't know, Borgata basically is slang for their family. It means like village or something, I think, something like that. But they use it to speak of a family. So the Gambino Borgata, he's the Borgata's boss, whatever. So I mean, here you got guys in his old family, 80 something year old dudes, 80. Romanello, I think I'm not sure he's 80 something. I don't know. I can't remember if it's 83, 85, 88, but he's going in places and smacking people on film, trying to get a debt from somebody else, a relative, from a relative. He's going into a place, I can't remember if it was a restaurant or whatever, but the dude's relative owed money and he's trying to collect it from this guy. So he punches him, right? He smacks him. Which is kind of, I don't know. Damn, he might have just received a death sentence, because if he's he dude been around he been around the block many times. So if he gets, say, a 3-year even a 3-year sentence, 4-year sentence in the feds, he's already 88 years old, 85 years old. He might not make it out, right? So there's some things within his own family he needs to worry about, right? Then you got the Gambino dude, Laney. He's over there threatening people at the gas station with the gas can, talking about he'll blow up the place, and he's threatening restaurant owners, husband and wives. And I think he smacked the husband or hit the husband too, I think. Just making a fool of himself, being caught on camera, right? Then you got the fucking the Bonanno boss, who's writing letters to women complaining about other guys, right? Sending guys to a funeral home, right? A funeral home during the service, talking about dude ain't supposed to go, and that's his father-in-law in the thing, right, in the casket. And from what I heard and understand, he also shelved the father-in-law. So the father-in-law shelved and the son-in-law shelved, and you're telling the son-in-law not to go to the father-in-law's funeral. And you send 3 guys over there, 3 soldiers, to get physical, and they in a funeral home, at the service. You know what I'm saying? With kids there and women there and elderly people there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what type of leadership that is. I mean, those are the things that needs to be those things need to be addressed first before you start jumping to another state. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know about all the things that I've been hearing about. Scott Bernstein got he's got information from a source that's telling him that Philly is being contacted by New York, and that they're trying to get a hold of handsome Stevie Mazzone in the joint to get his input on what's going on with Joey. I will tell you this: those guys will never turn on each other, right? They grew up with each other since boys. that whole crew of guys, right? And then you got the older guy, Uncle Joe. He's actually uncles to Borghese, the Borgheses, and he is like a real uncle figure, right? So these guys aren't going to tell on each other though. But what I do find that I don't want to see what happens, uh, but I'm just wondering if certain people such as Mazone gets if the guys in New York get in contact with him and they push up on him as far as like saying what they want to happen. Is Mazone is he somewhat like Joey, fuck you type shit, or would he really put word to everybody else that they had to step away from him and cut ties? You know what I mean? And because he's being shelved, will they respect that? I mean, from my understanding from the Philly Cats, a lot of them got legitimate businesses and they stay out the way. You know what I'm saying? So uh, they might not even care what comes down from New York. You know what I'm saying? Which is a trip, right? I mean, because they say New York can that New York can shelve Philly, and I guess so. I mean, I would think no because a boss is a boss, right? But from years back, they're saying that from way back that Philly was under the Genovese, and then at one point they were under Gambino too, but now they're like kind of back under the Genovese. But keep in mind, at one point they did have a seat on the commission as well. Back in '59, I believe it was, them and Detroit got put on the commission along with the original 7 seats. Um, but I'm not aware of when that commission is. That just a national? Is there a national commission and then a New York commission with the 5 families? That's what I always was not sure of. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm curious about that. Is there 2 different commissions, right? So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this. Go for I'm gonna cut this out, and it's starting to rain again. Jeez. But if you haven't already, please be sure to hit the subscription button and then hit the bell and the bell notification for all. Thank you, everybody. Drop a comment in the comment section if you think otherwise, or whatever your thoughts or perspective may be on him doing this interview with Vlad TV. With that being said, I'm out.